Like Tony, Bob's, how you guys doing?
Good.
Doing good.
How are you, Aaron?
Doing. Thanks for having us.
No problem. Congratulations on season 2 of the show. It's absolutely delightful. I spent a long time yesterday talking to Tony, and he is a delight. Super funny. And our bosses are now like, "What's the deal with this show?" So clearly, the guerrilla marketing of sending me on these interviews is absolutely working. 100%. Apple TV, take notice. How does it feel to get to the second part of this long journey? Like, so you're the writer of the novels that one of my nieces actually read and was like, "There's a show."
I hear that a lot, Aaron. They're like, wait, there's a show? It's look, I mean, look, we've all I'm a big reader. I love watching TV and going to the movies. I love a good story. There are many times I have seen a series or a beloved book get adapted. I'm like, wait, where's the rest of it? Wait, you're not going to do the like, but you missed the whole thing of the thing and the thing in the end. And very, very fortunate that the amazing team at Skydance and the folks at Apple were like, no, we want to do all three books, and we are gonna do all three books, and that's so rare. Like I can't even express how rare that is that would order the entire trilogy, all three seasons at once, because animation is a ton of work. It's all a ton of work, but it's really it is like watching paint dry. It's a lot of work. So I feel very fortunate and in the great hands of this super group at Skydance Animation that's basically people like Bob's who came from Disney and then there's people like who've come from Pixar and people from DreamWorks and Blue, all my favorite movies all working on this. It's a dream come true.
Absolutely. I'm gonna have to let Gary know that now he's not in trouble for saying he hopes there's gonna be 600 seasons of this yet to me yesterday. Uh,
Gary's like the Rovender Kit Chronicles. Where does Rovender go next? What is it? What's his what's his prequel?
I'd watch it. I'd watch. I'd be down. You speak about like the team here, and it really is like a labor of love. It is so interesting. Bob's like you have the source material, but also you guys are totally realizing this world from scratch. Like there's parts of their world where Ava is like exploring that feel like Earth, and there are parts where I'm like, what in the world is that? What is it like to make something that doesn't exist?
Well, I mean, it's great. I mean, Tony provides the foundation, right? So we have author and illustrator, so he can draw and write. It's a
Small flex.
double threat, right? And then it's very important that I think everybody, as he's communicating, and Tony's been with us on the journey. It wasn't like thanks for the books, see you later. It's like he's working hand in hand with us. In addition, as like you mentioned, we have part of our process is to be very collaborative, not just with the team making the show, but with the people working on other shows at Skydance. We bring them all in as fresh eyes to critique us and to pressure test things. And so it's been great having the opportunity to like Tony said, conceive the whole thing as a holistic thing, not as individual seasons waiting to see if we are going to do more. But then also to realize it as something hitting for more of a feature quality and using sort of feature kind of a feature process of storytelling wherein we iterate, we explore, we try the show, we tear it down. So when you see an episode, you're seeing like the sixth or seventh version of it because we've trial tested it amongst ourselves and continue to make it better. So yeah, having the foundation Tony gave us to start with and just be able to build on was great.
Absolutely. I just talked to Jeffrey Trammell over at Disney about doing Spider-Man, and he said that too. He's like, you've watched it so many times that you feel like it's great, but then you get the confirmation from the fans and from the audience that it's great, and it totally validates everything. He's like, okay, I'm not going crazy.
Yeah.
Or the
How
opposite, Aaron. You watch it and everybody's, "Wait, how come no one laughed at that joke? Don't you 45 people get it?" And you're like, maybe So
Maybe
it's
it's
really
not.
fun when you watch something, you get to see how people react, what's embraced and what people didn't get, and
Yeah.
get fresh eyes. So yeah, it's super valuable to have the opportunity to be, like we say, be wrong fast. Like get up there and see what'd you get right, what'd you get wrong.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I can say one thing you guys didn't get wrong. It's voice casts. Voice casts crazy. I mean, like, listen, if you ever consider a kickball team, I will be on your kickball team. You're gonna win. There's a bunch of winners on here. How did you guys build this wonderful voice cast?
It is amazing. Let me, can I tell it, Bob's? Is it
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, no, yo, jump
Because
in.
I'm the outsider. I'm like the outsider kind of watching this process, right? Like I love animation and I'm sitting on the meeting and I'm like, all right, how do they, because I always wondered, how do they do it? So
Yes.
they'll at this point, the artists and designers have either the models are made or there's a very finished illustration of what Eva and Rovender are going to look like. And so the casting agent has gone out and collected a handful of voice samples, right? And we
Hmm.
all are in a Zoom meeting and we're looking at this piece of art with Rovender or Eva or Mother, and then you're just listening to sound bites. And some voices you're like, I know who that is. That's that's blah blah blah. That's a huge actor or whatever. And but then you're like, but what voice sounds like the right voice that should be coming out of that character's mouth? And it's all blind. You don't know who they are. And they're just numbered 1 through 10 or whatever. And we're like, okay, five, five. Everybody likes five. And then they're like, okay, big reveal. Number 5, Gary Williams. Yes, that's our guy. Like that's so it's really fascinating to see that. Like you take away what someone looks like and you're just relying on their vocal performance and the sound. Really fascinating. Sorry, Bobs.
No, no, no.
I
That's what
get
it's
so excited. It was
basically,
so cool to see it.
it's kind of basically kind of blind casting because you're basically saying like we want to make sure that it's out that voice is coming out of that drawing,
Yeah.
not oh we fall in love with this celebrity or somebody wants this such thing. And the second thing we do is I lost count after 1,000 recording sessions that we had for the show, and I was at all of them. And
Yeah.
any actors that are willing to come in and do the scene for the fifth or sixth time because it's been rewritten is great and different than a live action thing where like a reshoot would be very expensive, right? We got to go, we blew up the set. What are we going to do? You can't reshoot it, but the actors who are willing to come in and try it again or explore something new, or we had this idea. And I mean, not to go on, but in animation is so planned out because you have to plan everything that the recording sessions are the one, not one place. It's one of the few places where um, you can improv in real time and grab it. So that's another thing. You want to find actors who are like, okay, just go off script. Let's just play for a while and see what we get. So, and that's a very feature way of doing things, and not typical TV.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. This is it's so wonderful. I have one last thing for you. The themes of this season center around like found family and sort of crafting your own experience and learning from those around you who might not have the same experiences. I found them to be really resilient for me, and I feel like it will be that way for a lot of younger viewers and their families. Can you talk about like how like that functions into like the story you're building here? I really think people are really going to enjoy that.
Oh, thank you, Aaron. I think that it follows some of the themes in the books, and that's a
Yeah.
big part of the collaborative process here with Bob's and the team. And if the first season was about Eva kind of finding her found family, this season is about, okay, so you found your flesh and blood, but they don't see the world through the same lens as you do. And you don't, in fact, they disagree with a lot of how you see that. And is there a place in your heart for love for them?
Mm.
And that was something that was important to me, 10, 15 years ago when I wrote it. And I feel like it's really relevant today. So I think I was excited and thrilled to see Bob's and the team really lean into those concepts and those themes and not necessarily provide a message. It's really no message. It's an exploration of these themes and then let the viewer, or in my case, the reader, come to their own conclusions on how they feel about that. But I would say with the experience, definitely the idea of Rovender and Rovender's backstory. Why is Rovender the way he is? Why, and then and that idea that we all are the heroes of our own story. We all have a backstory that has formed and shaped us to who we are today. And just because you're intersecting with someone at that moment in their life, you don't always know the full story. And so this was an amazing chance to be able to explore the backstories of why some of these characters are broken, for lack of a better word, at what shaped them, make them who they are.
Mm. Absolutely. Bob's like, yeah, that's it.
What Tony said. So I will say, and then be able to explore it in a serial in a show where we're not like where there's a commitment to the big picture of the whole show and the whole series.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, great job. Excited for season 3. Now I know there's season 3 coming. I'm ecstatic. And I gotta go. I've already been paged as uncle to buy an Apple TV subscription for a 17-year-old. So, you know, gotta do that.
Awesome.
Yeah, well, you got till April 25th. Come on, April.
If I start saving a coffee a day now, 2 days from now, I can afford her thing for her. Thank you guys. Tony, Bob, you've been wonderful. I really appreciate it.